Hi, this is Tommy TNT Fury, and you're watching Combat Insiders.
Welcome back to Combat Insiders. Joshua Furs, Nick Portella. We're here with Tommy TNT Fury, making his pro debut at the Manchester Arena on the Warrington versus Frampton undercard. It's going to be on ESPN Plus here in the States. I think it's going to be on BT Sports, where you're at.
Yeah,
Tommy.
BT Sport. Yeah,
it's going to be on BT Sports in the UK, ESPN Plus here in the States. Hey, man, so, awesome. Obviously, you're in the Fury fight business, right? What developed your passion for it?
I just think over the years, being around and looking on through the windows, through it and seeing it happen, no one ever forced me into doing it. So as a kid, I used to just get up and go running by myself. At 4 or 5 in the morning, before school or whatever, I used to go to the gym after school, but no one was forcing me to do it, so I was doing it by myself sort of thing. And I had a little punch bag in the garage that I used to go on every morning after the run. I used to do like 10 rounds on there and go and do whatever I was doing in the day and then go back to the gym at the night time. And that started from being like 8, 9 all the way up until now. Still do it now. But yeah, it's just dedication is the key for me, because I think that's the most important thing. Because if you've got skill, it's good, but if you're not dedicated, you won't go anywhere with it. But if you've got a bit of skill and a bit of determination, you'll go all the way, because a lot of people are very skilled at boxing and different type of sports, but as they get older, they kind of drift away from it, and they think like the other priorities come first. And the main thing is just keep that dream alight and keep chasing that.
So as an amateur, you had 12 fights. You won. You were in the finals in the nationals. You won the North Regionals twice. Yeah. What kind of was the turning point when you knew it was time for you to hit the professional level?
I think in my 3rd or 4th fight, I realised, from hearing from different people, I thought, this in the pro game is completely different. So I had a few more fights, won a few tournaments, got to the final of the nationals in I think it was my 9th fight. I was in the final. Obviously, in the final, I was facing guys with like 30 fights, 25 fights, and everyone was like, kind of, what's he doing here? Knowing 9 fights and not even done really much. But after that, really, after the final of the national, I thought, what's the point in building up a massive amateur career when you've got people like Aldi Harrison, who was an Olympic gold medalist, not really done much as a pro. You've got all these top solid amateurs that don't really do much as a pro. So it's 2 completely different sports for me, because amateurs is just like a game of TIG. It's points. Whereas professionals, you get to sit down and be shots more, and you got more time, and you can actually look what you're doing, and it's not rush. Like my style, it's much more suited to that, because having plenty of power in your shots, you like to sit down the shots and actually take your time and throw them properly. So I think that suits more to me. And I just didn't really like amateur boxing anyway. The whole setup, I got the one fight that I did lose. That was a bad decision. So it was one of them, really. I was, ever since I started boxing, I knew I wasn't going to stick around long in amateurs. I always knew I was going to turn professional and then start, because I didn't really have any interest in amateurs. I was only doing it really for a bit of experience. That was all, to be honest.
Right. It's kind of crazy that you said that you would go against guys with 35 fights. I would say your opponent's name, but there's no way I know how to say it. But he has, from what I see, over 100 fights as a professional. So, listen, doesn't matter what his record is. He's got 100 professional fights. So I think this is kind of to put your stamp that you're here.
100%. I mean, the guy, even though, see, people tend to look at his record and think, oh, he's rubbish. He's not really, don't really do anything. But what they don't know is because people don't understand boxing. They think, oh yeah, he's really bad. But let's not forget, he's there to lose, because if he wins, he's going to be out of business. Because as a journeyman, you have to lose in order to get work. So if he wins, he's not going to get any work, because he wants to fight him. He's got a rubbish record. He's got no titles. But if he pulls a win out of somewhere, do you know what I'm saying? He's out of business. But I'm not looking at that anyway. Obviously, with my last name and who I am, he's going to come to win anyway. I like all my opponents. Like the average prospect will get a journeyman who's just there to lose. I don't believe any journeyman will be there to lose against me, because if they can pull off a win, do you know what I mean? If they can pull off a win, it does something for their own career. And maybe not even for their own career. They might not get a bit of work for a couple of months, but they still got a win, haven't they? A good win. So I don't really treat them as anything like little fights, warm-up fights, early fights. I look at everything as a world title fight for me. And that's how you've got to look at it.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of, obviously, you're a Fury, brother of Tyson Fury. Does it add, I guess, a pressure that maybe a lot of people don't get to experience, being that, you are Fury, you're having your first professional fight. Do you feel any added pressures to you going into this?
I think a lot of people's been, a lot of people hoped, they hope to see an next, world champion and all that sort of stuff. There's always going to be pressure at the last name. It's like anything. I knew there was going to be pressure. There's a pressure with everything I do, whether that be sparring or anything. Whether people come down to the gym and watch me spar, there's always pressure. But I've learned to live with it, to be honest with you, because it's never going to go away because of my last name. Yeah. So I thought, what's the point of putting added pressure? I'm going to do the best that I can do. And as I said in recent interviews, I'm not here to live up to anybody. Tyson's Tyson, Huey's Huey, and I'm just going to be me. I'm going to do what I can do. And I believe all you can do is your best. So I'm going to give it my best shot. And by the end of it, I'll know if it didn't work out, I'll give it my best shot. And there's nothing more I could have done. So whatever happens, if I sit back and know I give it everything, that'll be enough for me. But I'm going to try my heart out. And I'm sure I believe in my skills. And I'm sure I'll go all the way with them.
That's a great answer, man. That was my next question is, does the, because I'm sure there's always going to be a comparison, right, between you and your brother. I guess, is that kind of thing, is it aggravating to you? Or like you said, have you just kind of accepted it? And like you said, you're just going to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, best version of myself, to be honest, because right now it's all about trying to, I don't want to go places on the back of somebody else. So it's all about making my own name. Yeah. So, right. And I believe with the qualities that I've got, I think with a few good performances as well, in my own style, I reckon I'll be able to do that, because already people's talking about, the physique and the athleticism and what have you like that. Yeah. And I feel like that stands me out. Such a young kid as well, who's not even got a man strength yet. Yeah. He's not even in his 20s, not 20 till next year. Still a teenager. Yeah. So I feel like the shape of me and how agile I will, and all that, and the power, I just think that's going to separate me from a lot of others anyway. So now,
yeah. Well, I was going to say, since you are young. You're making the jump. A lot of guys are in their 20s. So since you're starting out, where do you see yourself when, you're 25? Like, what's your 5-year plan?
5-year plan. Do you know what? I'm just taking.
He's like, I'm just here to fight, man. I don't know.
Yeah, literally. I've got a great team behind me. If you can't make it with the team I've got, you're not going to make it anyway. Because I've got, I'm trained by Ricky, and my family have been in boxing all their lives, know everything about boxing. So it's the only thing I've got to do is go in the ring and put good performances on. Because the rest, whoever they say fight him, I'll fight him. If you're ready for this, you're not ready for that. I'm not the type of kid who'll be like, right, you're not ready for this, and try and cause an argument and say, no, I am ready for this. I want to go for this. I'm a realist man, and I've not had a lot of experience in the amateurs, so I'm just going to take my time. I'm 19 years of age. There's no rush at all, and in 5 years' time, I'll be getting into a man strength thing. And I think even then, I'm mixing it with good lads now. Like I'm sparring and mixing it up with very, very, very good lads. So, yeah, in 5 years' time, who knows where you could be? If all I need to do is keep dedicating, keep training hard, and there's no question at all. I firmly believe in my skills, and God willing, I'll come through every fight. It should be the journey that I've been expecting all my life.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, man. If you look online, there's again with the name, but that's all put aside. There's people that follow you They followed your amateur career. You haven't even had a pro fight yet, and they're already calling you the next champion. I mean, how cool is that? Like, I know you take it with a grain of salt. You train, you do your thing, but in the back of your mind, it's got to be like, wow, this is, people are already recognizing what I've done, and I'm just getting started.
Well, that's how it is mostly, because it's all happened sort of since late October. Yeah. It's just boom. It's just blown up. Everything on social media blown up. I've gained like 10,000 followers on Instagram. I think literally in the space of a month and a half or whatever. Wow. So it's literally blew my head off. And even when I could be walking down the street or in the shopping mall, and people would be like, "Oh, I knew you," and I was like, "You've got to shake me," because I'm like, I've not even done anything yet. Like, I've not even had a professional fight yet. So I've not even done anything in the amateurs. So what's it going to be like when I actually do get somewhere?
Man, you get a couple wins, you won't be able to leave your house.
Oh, I'm telling you,
you'll just have to stay in. You'll have to fight to get out of the house. Like,
oh, do you know what it is? It's things to look forward to at the end of the day. Because as a young kid, all we dream about is getting to the best. Like I don't know whether it would be football, wrestling, athletics, different things like that. We all want to get to the best, and still being a child, really. Because I know my child. I look like a child. I'm in a man's world. So it's time for me to basically, like you say, grow up and get started, because for a normal 19-year-old to be going in there like with 35, 36-year-old men, do you know what I mean? It's not an average what 19-year-olds do. So I'm to separate myself from everybody else and show everyone what I'm made of, and more importantly, show everyone that I'm not just doing it because of my last name. I'm in this because I want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he got a man-sized Instagram.
Oh, it's
man-sized Instagram.
And it's going up day by day. Day by day.
What's nice, though, is no matter what happens at the fight, honestly, it shows something about your character. If you were just trying to follow it for the last name, you would go find some 18-year-old that you would beat up. But you're taking, again, I looked at the guy's record.
Yeah.
He could have lost all the fights. He still has over 100 professional fights at that level, and I don't think that should be overlooked. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you've got Olympians. You don't even take on people like that.
Yeah,
right.
So, and it is what it is. Like you say, he could have lost 100 fights. He's still been in there and faced some top quality prospects. Mm-hmm. So, I'm here to show I'm here to put on kind of a show, because I want to. Although, because I've not boxed amateur in about 2.5 years, I want to show everyone a boxing skill and the power that I possess. So I just believe if I relax and keep some of boxing what I can do, it'll be a very good show. Very good show.
Obviously, I'm sure we know which side you're on, and I'm sure you've probably been asked about it 1,000,001 times, and today's 1,000,002. The fight a week ago, with your brother and Wilder, I'm sure that the whole draw fiasco and all the controversy, and it was just, where exactly do you fall? I'm sure I think most people thought it was BS, right? I'm sure 90% of the world thought it was BS. I guess, what is, your family, your brother, what do they think about the whole situation?
Everybody who's even watched the fight, even if you're a boxing guy or you're not a boxing guy, everyone knows who won that fight at the end of the day. I mean, Tyson, although he got knocked down twice, that was the only round you could have given Deontay Wilder. I'm not being fun. I'm not just saying it because I'm saying it.
Yeah,
he did not win that fight, and a Mexican judge gave him, I think, the first 4 rounds. It's disgraceful, because he'd be training so hard, do so many sacrifices, and he can't even get a fair decision. So, and he wasn't asking for any favors. All he was asking for is a fair decision. So
I'll say that I only had Wilder winning the 2 rounds with the knockdowns, and even the 12th round to me was semi-questionable, because he did get knocked down with a good shot, and how he got up, we'll never know. Nope. But at the end of that round, he had Wilder wobbled.
Yep.
So I don't even know if it's a 10-8. And the only other round I saw that was controversial, people talked about, is possibly round 2. But even if he lost all 3 of those rounds, I had it 9 rounds to 3.
Yeah.
And I think people kind of base it like he had 2 knockdowns. Okay, but that's only for those 2 rounds, and you're not looking at the broad spectrum. And just to debunk the other part, that he got a long count, just to clear it, the outside judge starts the count as soon as the fighter goes to a corner. When you showboat, the count can't start. So I just want to clear that up because I've watched it. In the media, we see it, and we see people saying this and that. And it could be your brother, it could be you, it could be some boxer you don't know. The rules don't change for anybody.
No, not for anyone. I mean, it was ludicrous, that, honestly. It really was. For everything he's been through as well.
It's kind of wild asking you about it because we ask everybody on, whether it's MMA, jiu-jitsu, everybody's got an opinion, and they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
We're kind of on the same. I think it was a case of there's a lot of money in the rematch.
Yeah.
And he donated his purse anyway.
Yeah.
So money don't matter to him.
No, not at all. I mean, it's
Wow.
I can't. It's hard to speak about because there's nothing to say really because
there's not.
Judges literally just screwed him over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our own English judge give it a draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, if at a push, right? At a push, maybe 3 rounds.
That's it.
Yeah.
Where's the other 9? Do you know what I'm saying? If anyone's saying it was a draw and they were both 1-6 apiece, they never want to watch boxing ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again.
You think I don't want to keep you on the topic, but the other thing I did notice, there was one judge that said Tyson lost the first 6 rounds. So I went and watched the first 6 rounds. I just don't see it. It's kind of wild,
I said it in an interview the other day. I said, the people who refereed that fight should never be able to judge a fight ever again. It's like what happened when Mayweather fought Canelo. One of them had a draw.
Yeah.
And that, for me, was one of the most one-sided fights I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He made Canelo like an amateur.
Yeah.
And someone had it a draw. These judges, honestly, you got to question whether they even know about boxing. It's like, even all the great champions on the Wilder fight, Mayweather, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, they was all even saying the wrong man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they don't know, then who does?
It's kind of crazy because it's kind of like a cash game at this point.
Yeah.
Like let's say you win 10 fights and you go fight somebody. If it's like a big fight, you never know. You might be on the bad end of that because it's like, all right, he's doing this and this guy's doing this. If we make it a draw, there's money in the fight.
Yeah,
but enough about that because we all agree on the same thing. So you have your fight coming up in 2019. Do you plan to get a bunch of fights in as you get your career moving?
Yeah, I want to be, because I've not boxed in a while, I want to get this fight out of the way in 2 weeks. And then I want to have a nice long rest because I've been training all year. Because I was meant to fight a couple of times this year, but I moved trainers and what have you. So I've been training literally all year round. I've had a week off from the gym. So I'm gonna enjoy my Christmas, have a good long rest, probably come to the gym middle of January, and then start training again. But I want to be out next in probably March, and then be out every 2 months or so, or every month. I could even do every month at this stage. I just want to be very active and keep fighting.
You got to come fight over here, man.
I'm
telling you, come fight over here.
That'd be the dream.
Yeah, come across the pond, man. Well, look, where can people get in touch with you on social media, fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can follow me at Tommy TNT Fury on Instagram. On Twitter, it's Tommy Fury 2. All support is greatly appreciated. As I say, just keep supporting because it's blowing up, and I swear to everybody, I'm not here for a mediocre thing. I'm here to stay. A world champion I will be in the future. I guarantee that. So, just everyone.
Well, there you guys go. Yeah.
We'll have to bring him back on after his win.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get you back on, man. Yeah, go give him a follow. Guys, like I said, Tommy Fury, he's only 19 years old, but the guy I think is going to make a huge splash. So the fight is on the 22nd of the month, so we're not even about 2 weeks away, give or take. He's on the Warrington Frampton card. Again, it's ESPN Plus here in the States on BT Sports on his side of the pond over in the UK. Tommy, it was our pleasure, sir. We thank you so much for your time. Good luck in your fight, and we wish you all the success. For Nick Portella, for Joshua Furs, for Tommy TNT Fury, this is Combat Insiders, and we're out.